I always knew Karen was the type to cross lines, but I didn't expect her to cross a literal one. Into my lake, pole in hand, acting like she was queen of the fish. The first time I caught her fishing on my private property, I thought it was a joke. There she was, standing in her sun hat like she was in a Bass Pro commercial, humming some country song while yanking perch out of water I personally stocked. Karen, you can't be here. This lake is on my land, I said, keeping my cool. She gave me that tight-lipped HOA smile and chirped, if it's in the community, it's everyone's resource. You should be happy I'm enjoying nature. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama. I installed signs. Big, bold, trespassers will be prosecuted signs. I even added a wildlife notice. Because yes, the lake has gators. Harmless if left alone, but they live there. Like me. I also sent a written notice to the HOA and reminded Karen personally twice. Her response, "You're just mad I can fish better than you." By the third visit, she was bold enough to bring a camping chair and a cooler. She waved from across the lake like we were pals. Don't worry, I'm catching the small ones. I reviewed the footage that night. 5 separate days of Karen violating posted warnings and waltzing in like she owned the place. One video had her dancing on the bank with a bottle of Chardonnay in hand. That was it. The next evening, I saw her again. Alone this time, sneaking in just before sunset. I didn't stop her. I figured she'd get bored after catching nothing. But then I heard the scream. A real scream. One that cut through the trees like a bone saw. I bolted out with my flashlight and saw her thrashing knee-deep in water, a gator latched onto her leg. She was kicking, screaming, and sobbing all at once. I didn't think, I just grabbed the rake by the boathouse and swung it like a madman. After 3 hits, the gator let go and slinked back into the water. Karen collapsed in my arms, shaking, bleeding, mascara running like a river. I saved you, I muttered, breathless. She looked up, pale as a ghost, and said, "You'll hear from my lawyer." 2 days after I saved Karen's leg, and probably her life, a letter arrived from a law firm with a name so pretentious it had a comma in it. Peterson, Dale, and MacArthur. Sounded like a law firm that sues people for existing. Inside, Karen was suing me for reckless endangerment, emotional trauma, and, wait for it, failing to adequately warn her about the presence of dangerous wildlife. I laughed so hard I had to sit down. I pulled up the footage from my trail cam, literally ripping down the "No Trespassing Gators Pren" sign and tossing it in the bushes like she was doing some kind of nature cleanse. The woman sabotaged her own warning label. My lawyer, a former game warden turned legal bulldog, nearly kissed me when he saw the footage. "Oh, we're gonna fry her," he said with a grin. Metaphorically, of course. The HOA, naturally, pretended like it had no part in this. Karen had used their legal letterhead to request shared access to the lake months ago, and I had formally denied it in writing. I even had an email chain where Karen said the lake was basically public if enough people believed it. That's not how property law works, sweetheart. But Karen wasn't backing down. She told the local HOA Facebook group that I kept gators to terrorize the neighborhood and hinted that I may have trained them. Trained them? Like I had a whistle and a treat pouch labeled "Bite Karen"? I mean, it was tempting, but no. Meanwhile, Karen was limping around the neighborhood in a designer boot, telling anyone who would listen that I tried to feed her to a lake monster. The neighborhood started calling me Captain Gator. I didn't mind. Beats guy whose fish keep disappearing. But the cherry on top, a week before the court date, I caught Karen's cousin fishing in the lake. When I told him he was trespassing, he actually said, "Karen said she won the case already." Oh no, sweet summer child. I handed him a copy of the lawsuit and the footage. "Tell Karen to polish her pearls," I said. "She's about to be the star witness in her own downfall." Court day felt less like a legal proceeding and more like the season finale of HOA, Suburban Smackdown. Karen arrived in full drama queen regalia, neck brace, ankle boot, and a walking cane that matched her purse. She looked like someone who got sideswiped by a parade float, not someone who trespassed into a gator habitat wearing flip-flops and entitlement. I walked in wearing jeans, high boots, and a folder of printed receipts. My lawyer had 2 things: the security footage and the confidence of a man about to serve vengeance on a silver platter. Karen's lawyer started strong. painting her as an innocent homeowner who simply wanted to enjoy the natural beauty of her neighborhood. He claimed she was unaware of the dangers and was invited by community norms. Then my lawyer stood up. Your Honor, the defendant will show you footage of the plaintiff ripping down a posted warning sign, ignoring verbal and written notices, and trespassing on private land 5 separate times, and then claiming surprise when nature acted like, well, nature. We hit play. There it was. Karen strolling in, dancing, fishing, and tossing the warning sign like it offended her chai. The courtroom gasped when they saw her sipping wine while casually dragging trout into her cooler. Then came the kicker, the gator incident. Muted footage of her shrieking, me running, swinging the rake, dragging her back. The judge watched it twice. Karen buried her face in her hands. Her lawyer just sighed. And the defendant not only saved the plaintiff's life, my lawyer added, but called emergency services and filed the proper wildlife incident report, yet she responded with a lawsuit? Karen tried to explain. I thought maybe he put the gator there, like a trap. The judge leaned forward. You believe the defendant trained a wild alligator to lie in wait and attack you in ankle-deep water, then heroically rescue you. All to what? Sue you back? Silence. Court ruled. Karen was trespassing, had ample warning, ignored all of it, and filed a malicious, baseless suit. She was ordered to pay all legal fees, restitution for my damaged property, and $25,000 for fish restocking and public defamation. Karen's face went slack. The neck brace couldn't hold her head up anymore. Outside the courthouse, a reporter asked me how I felt. I smiled and said, well, at least now she knows. Play stupid games. Meet hungry gators. The check cleared in 3 days. $25,000 wired directly from Karen's account, court stamped and lawyer witnessed. I didn't spend it on fish right away, though. Nah. I threw a party, a gator awareness community celebration, open to everyone except HOA board members. We had a banner that read, private property means stay out or swim fast. Karen didn't show, obviously. She'd stopped limping mysteriously the day after court, and rumor had it she tried to get the HOA to reimburse her legal fees. They refused. One board member even stepped down, claiming the HOA had become a cult of stupidity. Couldn't argue with that. I took the remaining money and officially partnered with a state wildlife agency to register my lake as a designated educational habitat. That means any future trespassers wouldn't just be breaking property laws, they'd be breaking state conservation laws too. Hefty fines, criminal charges, and no HOA rulebook in the world could save them. Karen tried one last jab, of course. She submitted a proposal to the HOA to install a fence around my lake for safety, at my expense. I responded with a professionally framed cease and desist letter and copied the agency, local sheriff, and neighborhood newsletter. The board shut it down so fast it barely made the minutes. But here's the real kicker. 1 month later, Karen quietly listed her house. The description read, charming lakeside neighborhood, serene views, vibrant community. I highlighted the listing on social media with the caption, Serenity brought to you by restraining orders and freshwater reptiles. The post went viral. When Karen finally moved out, no one helped her pack. I stood across the street with a lawn chair, sipping lemonade, wearing a shirt that read, Captain Gator, HOA approved since 2025. She glanced at me once before slamming the car door. I waved politely. I never wanted trouble. I never wanted court, gator rescues, or HOA gossip wars. I just wanted peace, fish, and a lake free of nonsense. But when nonsense wades into your water with a wine glass and a fishing rod, sometimes you gotta let the gator do the talking. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think Karen got what she deserved? Comment below.